What's going on, everybody? It's the Creative Fro checking back in for another episode of Fireside Tech. I hope you enjoyed your week and are ready to learn something new, because today we're going to be going over time lapses. A time lapse is taking a sequence of photos at set intervals to record changes that take place slowly over time. When these clips are shown at normal speed or sped up, these actions seem much faster. Well, let me jump in a little bit more into time lapses, but before I do, let me remind you guys real quick to hit the big red subscribe button if you have yet to already, and also turn that notification bell on just for fun. So when it comes to choosing a time lapse, you have a couple of options. You can either choose a video time lapse or the photo time lapse. Now that choice is up to you. The video time lapse, it is already built into the camera, or you use an app that puts it into a video at the end, or you can manually take the pictures yourself with a camera shutter set to your DSLR, or if your camera has an app that takes photos individually, you can use that for the time lapses as well. Now, preferably to achieve these time lapses, you would want to use a DSLR camera, because this way you have the best chance at manually focusing in and making sure that the final time lapse is the way you want it to be. And most DSLRs today come with a built-in time-lapse feature, so that should be easy for you to navigate. Or you can use your handy cell phone that's always in your pocket, and this would be a great way to get time lapses because there's already a built-in function. Another thing you want to keep in mind when you're thinking about a time lapse is the amount of time that you have. You're going to want to leave yourself from anywhere from 1 minute to multiple hours, depending on the type of time lapse that you're trying to achieve. Doing a day-to-night time lapse is going to take a lot longer than setting it up for 1 minute and just getting a quick time lapse that way. At the end of the day, it's up to you with how much time you have and the look you're trying to achieve with the time lapse. So for my Canon camera, I already have a built-in function that has a time lapse movie mode. So any time lapse I put on my Canon is automatically outputted into a movie. In my Canon camera, I can set my intervals, and that is the amount of time each picture is taken. So that can be from 1 second, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can change the amount of pictures too as well. Those two combined dictate the time of the total time lapse. And then it will say at the bottom how much time it will take, so then that way you know how long you'll be standing around waiting for the time lapse to be done. For my Sony camera, I use an app that I downloaded from the Sony Play Store. I will do all photo time lapses just so I can switch it up from using my video ones from my Canon camera. It takes an extra step when you go to edit. There's a bunch of photos. Now say you took 600 photos, you're gonna wanna put that all into a folder on your desktop. You just want to put all those pictures into your timeline, select them all when they're in the timeline, change the duration to 1 millisecond, and then make changes from there. If you would like to see a more in-depth tutorial of how to put a photo time lapse together, if you've had struggles with that before, I could do a Final Cut Pro tutorial so everyone can see how it looks. So if I'm using my Sony to get the time lapse, what I do before I start the photo time lapse is I will focus in on my subject. So I'll zoom in all the way and make sure that is in focus before it starts. A quick little pro tip for today's video is I would use a stabilizer and have a motion time lapse. So if you have something like this or any sort of technology, use it. I use this as much as I can in vlog or any kind of client projects that I'm trying to get a time lapse. It adds a whole nother dynamic to your time lapse because you're getting motion within that time lapse. So that's all I have for today's video. Go out there and get creative with your time lapses. I know I'm still always trying to come up with different creative ways and styles to use a time lapse. So if you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comment box below. Like this video if you did, and share this video if you think it could help somebody. I hope you guys enjoy this upcoming week and crush it. I can't wait to see you next Sunday in front of this fire again. It's the Creative Fro, and I'm out.